Boom, boom. This is Ken. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, got a little bit of Azur laying up today. Got a new event that dropped. So for the next 2 weeks, if go ahead and get those Sardegna Empire ships out, dust those little puppies off, and get them ready. Because if you want to use them to keep with the theme, now's the chance. All right, so we've got the virtual tower, basically running from 324, which was yesterday, until the 6th. Standard half event is what I like to call it. It doesn't have the full, all-encompassing event feel to it. It does have a build associated with it, but there is no chat border or avatar border that you can get with this based on a limit break configuration. So none of that. Just standard, straight shot up in terms of that. So the build is it's an isolated build. We've only got, it's a 4-ship build, but we've already got Formidable. Formidable is not a new ship. Okay, Pompeo, Magno, Impero, and Trace are new ships. Okay, so you want to try to get your hands on these. All right. I've already got Impero. Impero, I bagged her first 5 builds that I did yesterday. She came right up. I was very, very pleased by that because she's the one I wanted to get. Impero was never fully realized. So World War II, as you know, Vichy Domain, and the Sardegna, it's all, it's all mixed up. It's how it associates with World War II. But she was in the process of being built when the war ended, so she was never fully realized. I think they had the whole down was about all. So after that, of course, resources that were going to be allocated for her, plus the actual treaty that had been signed, they saw no use to proceed with her, so the resources were reallocated and used for other endeavors, not associated with this ship. So she was basically, well, the whole everything scrapped. So, but this is Azur Lane, so if we want to say in the Azur Lane world that Impero was completed, we can, and we do. So here she is. So she's an aircraft carrier, second aircraft carrier for the Sardegna Empire. The first one, excellent aircraft carrier. I was really impressed with the Kia's skill set and usefulness, so much that I've almost got her fully maxed out, using her as a side ship just because I like her so much. But Impero is good as well. She has a skill set that is really interesting. So this is a Kia. I've got her at 117. She'll be at 120. And you can see I've fully maxed her out. She's got so much usefulness. She's an excellent, she can make a Sardegna fleet. She really does bring it in. So using her is definitely an option to consider. Impero, I haven't had a chance to get her thing up. The first one is just basically a firepower increase. What's interesting about this Impero is charitable skill set is I don't think there's any ship that has this. So what it does is, okay, so 10 seconds after the battle starts and every 20 seconds after that, while a ship in your main fleet has between 20 and 90% hit points remaining, that's the set that has to be done. Okay, if this ship has the highest percentage HP of all ships in your main fleet, and there are at least 2 ships in your main fleet, it deducts 1 hit points from this ship and heals your main fleet ship with the lowest percentage hit points. Okay, except this ship for the amount. Okay, so basically what you're getting is if she has the highest hit points, it'll take some of that hit points from her and give those to the lowest hit point ship in the main fleet. Okay, so now this number 2 is if this ship does not have the highest percentage hit point, meaning if she's been hit, but that's unlikely because backline ship, it then deducts 1% hit points from your main fleet ship with the highest and gives it to her. Okay, for the amount of hit points. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Okay, now whichever ship is healed as a result of this skill, the aviation is increased by 5 for 5 seconds. That's probably going to go up to 10% for 5 seconds. Now, if the ship that gets the healing is a Sardegna Empire ship, healing is increased by 183. So that's quite a large boost for a ship. that's associated, if it's Sardegna Empire. So you definitely want to put her in your fleet if you're going into a tough battle. So that's what it is. This one here, this Empire is brilliant. It is basically it's a aviation 5%. Okay, that's going to be, I think it's going to be 10%, maybe even more. And then launches level 1 airstrike based on type. Now, if the ships, if the airstrike it launches, if it's a fighter launch, then it decreases the loading time of the ship's first airstrike by 20%. If it's a dive bomber, then the ship finishes loading or second increases the ship's damage dealt by 30% for 5 seconds. So you can get speed, a reload increase, or a damage increase based on whichever airstrike is loaded. So that's pretty good, actually. So she's got a pretty good skill set. I think it's the first skill set in terms of where I've seen healing like that. I do like the fact that it focuses on the ship that needs it, so it's not a random, not useful healing. It's a directed, targeted healing that is useful, which you're always looking for. Plus, she's an aircraft carrier, so damage is not going to be an issue. And she does have a pretty good aviation stat. I've got a bunch of stuff on her that increases aviation. The steam catapults. Put a couple of those on her, and you get a huge buff in your aviation. That's why I have it on most of my carriers. So yeah, she's got a pretty good skill set. So definitely something. I wanted to have a 2. It's nice having a 2 carrier back fleet because you want to put Vittorio as the flagship. You can also put Littorio back there, but you want to have a 2 carrier option because some of the ships in Operation Siren have a buff that makes them either have a decrease, 50% damage decrease against shelling or against aviation. So you want to have options in your backfield. You want to have you have multiple fleets in Operation Siren, but I have half and half. I always take 2 of each. To shelling fleet and an aviation fleet, specifically because of the fact that you're going to come across boss ships that have a bit of a buff against those types of ships. So 50%, 60% decrease in damage from from shelling. So you obviously not going to want to take a fleet that has 3 battleships in the back line. That's just going to take you twice as long to kill to take out the boss. But throw a back line that has a couple of carriers, and you're in much better position to take it down quick. So that's why I like to have multiple options for that. So having another aircraft carrier is something that's useful. And also, I like the Sardegna Empire's design. Okay, I like the way it's set up. And a lot of the ships are a key for some of the PvP builds that are running in the higher levels in terms of the capability with Richelieu and a few other things. Yeah, those are some of the things that you want to look at. But yeah, so for the Sardegna Empire, makes things pretty good. They have a pretty good set now with Pompeo, Magneo, another SSR ship. Hopefully I'll be able to get her pretty quick. Now she is also in the build, as I showed, but she's also in the actual shop. So right here, if you want to snatch her up, Romani class ship. So 8,000. You want to get the gun as well too. So again, it's a 45,000. Is what you're looking at if you have to actually purchase her, and then still have enough to get the cognitive chips, cognitive arrays, blueprints, and parts, which is of course you always want to get. If you get lucky enough to build her, then you can probably get by with probably about 35,000. That should be able to get the gun and everything else associated. Just about that. So get in there, knock it out. You got a couple of weeks. And see, the story is pretty excellent. Mine, it's more of a lighthearted story compared to our last event with the Northern Parliament, which had a more serious overtone to it. This right here is a more lighthearted event. All of the ships in the event are allies, so you're going to see Sakura Empire, Eagle Union, and all of the ships are allied at the time, even Ironblood. So you're going to get to see ships from all of those fleets battling together against the Siren. So it's much more lighthearted. So yeah, definitely a good story. So it's definitely something that you want to get in there. I'm already up to SP3. So yeah, it's been very good to have time to learn about it. Basically, it's just Impero, Pompeo. They're in a fleet. They're out there. They come across the mirror sea and inside this virtual tower. So they're exploring the tower. They call for reinforcements, and all of the fleets send in reinforcements. So we get you know, a bunch of fighting and stuff going on. But they're all allies in this, so they're fighting against the Sirens, so it's pretty good. But yeah, it's got a good set to it. So yeah, try to get you want to get between. If you do actually build Pompeo pretty soon, then you can probably get between 35 and 40,000 credits. All right. So as always, this shop will be open 7 days extra. So the event closes 4/6. This will be open till 4/13. So don't build Pompeo until 4/7. Okay. There's no use purchasing her in the shop because you might get lucky and build her. So just don't go snatching it up once you get 8,000. Hold on to those credits and wait until after the build is over. And then if you didn't build her, then yes, you want to go ahead and purchase her inside of the shop. So there's 3 ships you're going for. You're going for Impero, Pompeo, and Trieste. Okay, so those are the 3 ships that you want to focus on through this build. So build away. Try to keep the pity for the next UR ship. So if you go below 200, try to keep it so that maybe you can get back to 200 quick, just in case when the new UR ship pops out. No date when that's going to be yet, but as you can see, they can ramp that up pretty quick. So it's definitely something that you want to make sure that you're prepared for. So you always want to keep a little stash of cubes ready, so that you always have them available when one of those events comes up, so that you can always make sure you get a UR ship, because they are pretty much stat wise and skill wise, they usually have a pretty good set that you want to start with. All right, so that's all I got at this point. Get in there and knock that out. Let's do one other thing we'll touch on. We do have a new dorm designed up. I have, as of course as always, purchased it. And as you can see, it's basically just a spring school time theme. We've got a Manju there and a little school shirt uniform. We've got a little picnic thing out here. We've got a little bookstore right here with Azur Lane on the top, and then a couple of schools. Faults with this are obvious. First of all, a ship could be hiding behind here, so you might not see an affinity or dorm coin that you might want to snatch up right inside of there. Also, I noticed that ships tend to hide back here, as you can see right there. Had a Dicor token right there, and if I hadn't pulled her out, never would have known it. So things like that, make it not as much useful. uh, I will be redesigning it, and one of the things I'll be doing is I'll be moving this school over here into this corner where this particular pool is at. I'm moving the pool up here because the anchor top will be set up here, so I'll be able to see any ships up in there. And I don't think it's going to block this off too much. I'll have to see. If it does, then I might move it back. But that's what my current thought is. Let's go ahead and take a look at that now. So let's do a move. All right. So let's move this. I don't think there's any place I can move it without having to delete at the time being. Yeah, I'm going to have to remove it. So moving this right in here. Yeah, you can put it right in the corner right there, and you can still get good shot on this. And then we can put the actual anchor right there, and that should be okay in terms of everything. Where's that at? Is that furniture? I don't think it's furniture. It is a pool, but I don't think it's going to be set up in a way that I'll never find it now. Well, I'll find it, but I'm going to stick it right there. So that way we will have, yeah, and see, we can see everything in this. That way the only thing poking up into here will be the actual top of that anchor. So we'll be able to see everybody. Because that's one of my pet peeves. See, they're always back in there. I don't know why. They always, I know and understand when they build this, they're going for a look and a theme, but they need to be a little bit more thoughtful when they build these things. Because if the ship girls get hidden behind an item and you can't see an affinity or a decor token, then that defeats the whole purpose of what of having the whole thing back there. So yeah, so I always do a little redesign, moving stuff out around when I get it, just so that I have all avenues positioning open, so that I can actually see what's going on. And this looks pretty good. But yeah, they just keep in mind that they will sometimes get up in there, and they will sometimes get up in there. Uh, there's pretty much I've seen pretty much every time I've opened up a dorm, there's been at least a ship in here or a ship girl in there. So just keep that in mind. If you see the red dot and you're and you come in and it's under your dorm, which indicates that there's a token that needs to be purchased. Just keep in mind that that they might be hidden behind that corner, so you might not be able to see them. Just keep that in mind. All right, so again, but that's pretty much everything. Like I say, we've got the tower vet with the built and the sortie. We've got a milestone reward to get a piece of furniture. This is not a ship. Okay, it's a piece of furniture. It's at 10,000 as always. After that, there's blueprints. So it's basically a Pompeo Magno scale model. Okay, so you want to get it simply because I've been collecting all the scale models. I've got them all. And I'm going to be building a theme with them once I get my second floor. And I'm pretty much to the point. I have one more thing I want to do with my diamonds. And then once I've built up enough, I'll purchase a second floor. And on the second floor, I'm going to have a model room where I'll put out all the models of all the ships. Because I do have pretty much all of them. I think every event that's came out, I've made. Anytime it's a ship model, I've always made sure to actually get it, so that when I do come to the thing, I might go ahead and build one right now and just put it on the first floor and ring the outer wall with them, and keep that up. I might do that in the future here, and share that out with you so you can take a look at it and see what you think. But I do have a lot of ship models, so it's going to be a lot of them to put out. But yeah, so that's the only two things associated with event. We've got the actual sorties. We've got a build for it. Okay, there's nothing in terms of max limit break ships, nothing like that. And there's 3 ships: Pompeo, Imperio, and Trieste to go ahead and get. But keep an eye on that. But we got until the 6th, so no rush in terms of that. Yeah, same as always. Shoot for between 40, 45. If you build Pompeo before towards the end of it, then you can probably get by with 30, 35, and still get just about everything that you need. As long as you can get the parts, cognitive chips, cognitive arrays, and some of those blueprints for the DR ships, you're in good shape. Okay. Other than that, there's not much going on at this point, but that's going to keep you fully occupied, and make sure you do run it daily as much as you can. Like I say, it's a good story. I'm only halfway through it, of course, but all the ships being allies is really nice. Much more lighthearted theme, considering the last event was pretty serious in terms of what was going on. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You'll be notified each time we drop a video. So remember to subscribe and like and share the video. YouTube algorithm seems to get a real kick out of things when you do like and share the video, and it makes it visible and viewable by more people, which helps the channel. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Ken Real coming at you from the corner, signing out.